this video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove the dark circles underneath somebody's eyes in Photoshop. You can see in my picture here that the dark circles aren't extreme, but there are some that we can work with so that I can show you how to remove them. So if you beginning with your picture, you need to make sure you're zoomed in close enough to the picture that you can really work with them. So I put mine at 90%. This picture was taken a little bit farther out, but that's just going to depend on the picture that you have taken. So once you are zoomed in, our first step is going to be to create a curves layer. So if you go over to your adjustment panel on the right side, click on curves, it's going to create a layer here. Now the very important first step to take is that we don't want the layer mask selected, we want the actual layer thumbnail selected. So make sure you have that selected by clicking on it, or else it's not going to be able to edit this correctly. So once your layer thumbnail is correctly selected, we're going to go over to the panel that it brought up and go to the top dropper that it has and double click on that. So what this wants you to do is essentially select the color that you want to be under the eyes instead of what's there. So I'm going to pick just a slightly lighter color on her face to keep it natural. You can see up here, it's not a whole lot of difference. You can see a little bit of more lightness, but just find a place you can play around. You can click multiple places on the face to test and see what you really want. Once you have got that selected, you can go ahead and click OK. I'm going to say no, I don't want to save it as a default. And now what this tool wants you to do is to click what part you're wanting to replace. So essentially, you want to click on the part that is dark under their eye. So I'm going to click right about here. And you can see that it takes essentially the color that you selected and it masks it over that entire picture. So the next step to get this to go away is to go back to our layer over on the right. We can click on the actual layer mask thumbnail again. And now we need to invert the colors. So you can do this by clicking Control-I, and your colors are back to normal. The last step that we have to do now is we just need to select our brush and brush in the colors that we picked over the parts that we don't want. So if you go over to the left panel and you see this brush tool, go ahead and click on brush. And you want to keep your opacity somewhere between 10 and 20%. I'm going to keep mine a little bit lower, but again, that's up to you. And you can also select your brush size and make it different. I have mine at 37, but again, it depends on your picture. So now your computer already has the color preset in there based on what you selected, and you're just going to fill in the spots that you don't want. So just click and hold and brush over, and it may not seem super obvious while you're doing it, but you will be able to tell a difference when we go to look at the before and after. So just fill in some of those spots, click and hold, brush it in so that you can get some good coverage. And we'll go ahead and just stop there just so we can see what our difference is. I'm going to turn off my edits that we just made. And you can see how much lighter we've really brightened up under her eyes. So they didn't really look bad to begin with, but there was some room to work with, and we've got some good results here. So with just a few steps, you can take the dark circles under someone's eyes and take that darkness away with still keeping that natural look and natural texture underneath their eyes by using your curves level.